Tracy, all members are present. The agenda in front of you, looking for approval of tonight's agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda dated July 8th, 2024.
On support.
Your motion support to approve the agenda as submitted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The minutes for our regular meeting on June 10th are in the packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the regular council meeting dated June 10th, 2024.
Support.
Need a motion and support to approve the minutes for our regular meeting dated June 10th, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Treasurer's report is in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report as of June 30th, 2024, dated July 8th, 2024.
I'll second.
Need a motion and support to approve the treasurer's report as of June 30th, 2024, dated Monday, July 8th, 2024. Roll call, please.
West. Yes. Haverly.
Yes.
McCafferty.
Yes.
Moore. Yes. And Waller.
Yes. Bills and transfers is also in your packet.
I'll make a motion to approve the bills and transfers ending June 30th, 2024.
I'll support that.
Any questions or comments?
The new furnace went in. Good.
All right, then we have a motion and support to approve the bills and transfers ending June 30th, 2024. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. This time we have public comment for agenda items only. We ask that you state your name and your address and that you keep it to about 3 minutes. If we can answer your questions, we will answer them during council comments. Otherwise, we will have the administrator send you an email and address your question.
Somebody needs to go first. Go ahead.
Is this the time to talk about the,
Or no, that'll be coming up very shortly.
Okay.
All right, so if there's no other comments, I will. I'm sorry, did I miss somebody? Okay, all right, try to close public comment at this time and move on to reports, administrative report.
Provided you some really great information. Did you guys have a chance to look at it for possibility of it's from the Great Lakes Pickleball Association regarding the current condition of our tennis court in the park, the basketball and pickleball venue surface. It's a possible solution to improve and or refurbish at a much more reasonable cost. So read the information, and if you wish, they're willing to come and make a presentation. And Atlas Country Club just put in 4 of them, and they use the same process. And it's quite a savings. I went over it with Keith already, and I think you liked it, Keith, right?
Yeah, I did. I see. I like the breakdown that you gave of 6 pickleball, 2 pickleball, 2 basketball. The breakdown. I'm not sure we can do the whole kit caboodle.
Right, right.
But we can always start somewhere, right? And then build on it.
So if you guys would like, I could have them come and do a presentation. And
Is that something where, because it still is, there still is an expense behind it, but is that something we could potentially fundraise for? Like to
Sure,
cover part
absolutely.
of the cost?
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
I received 2 applications from individuals interested in the code enforcement officer position. we've got, the interview set up this week with the president and our president pro tem and myself. And, we'll be able to bring, their recommendations to the council at the next meeting. If not before, it's up to them. I received a phone call, from John Bryan late Wednesday, from the Genesee County Water and Waste. He indicated that the cost of the KCI Pursley Creek intersector may conceivably be increased. Now, remember, our share went from 250 to 777,000. Now it's gonna go up again. He said he wants to meet with me, and he's gonna meet with, some of the other representatives from the other municipalities. Then he wants to meet, with every municipality to go over this. He said if we all can't get on board on this, it's going to stop this dead in the water. And we all know we can't have this. We need this. We want this to be able to move forward with. So I'll be meeting with him on this, and then we'll set up a meeting with you. So he can go over all this with you, what the possibility of it is, but it's
Do we know what's driving that cost increase?
cost of things today. Cost of
They
everything.
are- Right, was
I mean,
there
it
an
already
assigned
went up one
contract?
time, went up pretty substantially,
It,
and now it's gonna go up
it's
again.
gonna go up again, yes. Yes, yes.
There's more on your sheet than there is on ours, because I don't see it.
No, I wrote this down here because I didn't,
Gotcha.
I got that late Wednesday. It wasn't
I
part of,
see, I read.
I'm letting you know that I'm going to be meeting with him and that there's something coming up about the KCI. That's all I got. I don't have much more from him other than that. But that the cost is gonna go up.
I'd be curious to know what the justification behind the cost increase is. I mean, it jumped of $500,000 the first time. And then the longer, I mean, what's the holdup to,
Well, hopefully he'll be able to come and explain all that
Yeah.
to you.
those would be questions that what's the holdup? Because, bad news doesn't get better with time. The costs are just gonna keep driving up the longer they wait.
Can I ask a quick question about your first thing from the pickleball?
Uh-huh.
How would it work with Good Times for how they host their things on that court?
Oh, you can have tables on it and everything.
Driving anything on it? Do they drive anything on it or not?
Well, I don't think you drive anything on it, but we shouldn't necessarily, in my opinion, make a determination based around good
Oh,
times.
yeah, I was just asking for.
But no, you can put tables on it and, yeah, no, it shouldn't.
If you had a, course that
Yeah.
they put together.
I just know when he said he sets up, I don't, he drives there to set up stuff.
I don't, honestly, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. Could be some good questions when they come and, present. But that's all I have.
DCW,
The water line at the turnaround's fixed, we had a leak, so they have water for the flowers turnaround. Yeah. I am getting some prices for downtown parking areas, just so we at least have, so if money does come available, at least, we get a ballpark idea to do the parking space as far as asphalt goes. West Eagle Road obviously was paved. That spring, we put a French drain by Schuman's Drive, it's kind of kitty corner, that's always wet right there. We hit a spring, so we put a French drain, it's been dry ever since, so hopefully that shouldn't be a issue anymore. I ordered those, no parking signs for Cemetery Street. Post came in, but I'm still waiting for signs, so hopefully within the next week or two, I should have signs.
where are we, I mean, as far as, all the perk benches, are those all done or that we?
No, we're still
got a few
working on
working?
We're still working on it.
Okay,
Downtown was done last year, we just got M15.
okay.
We got the wood and everything for it. We've been pretty busy mowing, it hasn't really stopped raining, so that's been kind of keeping us pretty busy mowing and trimming and that sort of thing.
With the parking spots, I know it got brought up in conversation with him. Has it ever been discussed to possibly switch to some angles on them instead of parallel?
You measured them. Gonna have to move some curb.
Yeah, it was really tight.
Deep enough. The center of the road.
I mean, are the parking spaces gonna be redone because they're like crap, or is it just to match the newly?
No, in front of Cranberries, it's really bad in front of Cranberries.
They're rough.
Okay, no, because at, the MML conference last fall, there were a lot of really cool ideas that other communities are doing with their parking spaces. Like, we're all big on Goodrich football and, the Martian logo, and some communities were like painting their parking spots to match like their mascots with the schools and stuff, and that may be. I was if the parking spots weren't for crap, maybe get some of the art students from the high school to paint the parking spots like Martian colors. But if they're crap, then they have to be redone.
And they were out here today, then couple did freeze on Cemetery Street. They were out here today getting them down.
They took that down.
Yep.
Do you have anything to add?
And crack ceiling should be, now that July 4th is over, I can get on the phone, everybody's, should be back to work now. So you said the end of June, July, so I should see it here in time. I know Davison had it last I heard.
How many days do you get to keep that for?
Not right time, I got about a half a pallet, whenever we use that up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, whenever I said I know specific length of time.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
All right, we don't have a code enforcement report this month. There is a building department, a fire department, and a sheriff's department, activity reports are in your packet. So those are just legal review. Unfinished business, we have none. Moving on to the public hearing, at this time, I will open up the public hearing to consider the proposed truck ordinance to regulate orderly operation of trucks on the streets of the village. The primary objectives are to facilitate the transfer of goods and services by trucks to businesses and to preserve the quality of life of the neighborhoods. At this time, I would ask you to state your name and address, and we ask that you please keep it under 3 minutes.
I'm Goodrich, 9307 Green Road. How can you take a class A road and close it up?
Yeah, you can.
You know the number of accidents that are gonna occur at any one of these intersections of lights, for example, don't say, anything. I've been around here 62 years. So I drove for counties for 20 years. I know what it's gonna end up being like. It's gonna be a mess. It's gonna open up and start having accidents at these intersections. Does that open you up for lawsuits? For closing down that?
I don't believe so.
Don't believe so.
Seventh thing work, 10-243 Green Road. I'm opposed to changing this pattern of traffic. It's nonsensical. You are convinced that you can save Eagle Road by destroying Green and Perry and back up Green. I disagree that it's going to enhance or improve the downtown Goodrich. It won't change a traffic pattern to any significant extent. And unless you're convinced that these heavy trucks are going to damage Eagle Road, which has been used for over 100 years.
And how many times has it been fixed?
How many times has any road gotten fixed? How many times you're gonna have to fix Green Road? How many times you're gonna have to fix Perry? I'm opposed to it. I'll just end with, I'm opposed to this, and I think it's a wrong and mistaken move.
Thank you.
Cindy Nance, 9375 Green Road. I drove school bus for Goodrich for 36 years. I just retired 2.5 years ago, and I can tell you, of all the accidents that is going to happen, like Kendall was saying, I used to have to come up the hill on Perry Road, up to the hill by the post office, and then I had a, excuse my language, a hell of a time getting out of there with a busload of kids. Constant, every day, every run. And then we had buses trying to get out on Dam 15 from Green Road. Same situation. them cars do not slow down to let something out. But 36 years, I can tell you, you are going to see a lot of terrible, terrible accidents that are probably gonna claim a lot of lives. So you're gonna try to, we're not even got our road fixed yet. It's in the making. Maybe next year we're supposed to get pavement. So this is what we get for getting finally, after all these years of all the tons of traffic going up and down our road, eating dirt like no other. And then now that we're gonna have a fixed road next year, well, let's put on all these trucks and the travel. And just from when you guys were working on Eagle Road and the truck, and it was detoured kind of around Green, which we can expect that to happen when this detoured or whatever. But our houses, honest to God, and this is no lie, would just rock, just shake every time them big trucks went by.
And the people on Eagle Road are dealing with it for 35, 40 years, the same thing.
Hey, Lucy, Goodrich. I think it might be a good idea, but I don't think a lot of thought was put into it. Because now that you're taking the trucks and not allowing Eagle Road, you're looking at Perry Road or you're looking at Green Road. Okay, when I was on a council with Pete Morley, we did some M15 being repaved or whatever, and they put up a temporary light on Eagle at 15, that temporary light on the door. That's what it's supposed to be temporary. But when they got the pavement done, we said we want it permanent. And did we fight like hell to keep it? We had Oakland County, we must be in a district or something, because Oakland County came in and backed us up.
I remember that.
Yes. And if you think you're gonna get a light on Ferry or Green Road, the state, you're crazy. You just don't know what you're going into, because we couldn't even hardly keep the light that was already there. So I really don't think it's a good idea until you really investigate it to see if you can put lights there. Because you've got to have lights on either corner if you're going to bring these trucks down through here. They just can't pull out on 15 and these people come down 15 and they're going to have a real problem. So I think maybe if you investigated that first and come up with a solution, it might, might be a little bit better on the pallet of the Ken Ready Mix or Johnson's or excavating or anybody else with heavy, tandem trucks or anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Baker, 947 Green Road. I agree with Cindy. And I've lived out there for 47 years. We're just not going to get this road fixed, and we're only getting it fixed because of the counts that they've done on this road of over 10,000 cars a month going down there. All we're gonna have to do then after that is to fight for a speed limit sign, because I've had accidents. Kids roll their car and end up in my front yard, almost to my house. My sister is the same way. There's been accidents at M15, and when I was a kid, there was a kid that was killed there. All we're looking for is more deaths. I've been rear-ended trying to turn on to Green from M15 because people don't want to slow down. That's a blind curve coming in. You're sitting there, you're waiting forever. The same way if you want these trucks just to get over onto to Green Road, they're gonna go up a hill where they have to stop again at Ridge. Then they have to go out to Gale. There's another blind hill coming up the hill there to the corner of Gale and Green. They can't go up Perry Road, like Cindy said. It's just not gonna be able to get going. And I think what little bit we pay every 15 or 20 years to do this village in here where the trucks need to be going is perfectly fine, because you already have streetlights. You have stoplights. You want them to slow down, put a stop sign there at the corner of by all those real estate peoples in 411. I don't think they're going that fast going through there. And if you're talking about kids being at Lippy's, parents need to parent if they're not watching their kids. So I think it's wrong. We're gonna get our road in, get it paved for the amount of traffic that we have now. And you want to put all these, we still have big trucks that go out there. We have Johnson's that goes up and down our road. We have the big UPS trucks. We have trucks. We're not denying that we don't have trucks or we don't want trucks.
We just don't want all your trucks coming this way.
It won't be all the trucks, any trucks that are delivering within the village, so UPS, Prime, all those type of vehicles.
Right.
They're still
All
gonna be
your
moving
other trucks
trailer.
are not gonna be
This
able to
doesn't have anything to do with school buses, right? Because school buses operate within the village. That, you know, we're trying to alleviate some of the bigger
Your
trucks
10
that
drivers
that
try to pull out
are,
from that.
are
They can't
putting.
get drivers now, they won't get them then either to make that like this. They won't go out there.
I just want to add to my comment. Also, the town people have a speed limit sign, 25. Our road is 55 and more because they go faster than that.
It's,
Yes.
it's been plotted over.
And we don't have police enforcement. There's never, you might see one go by because they're going somewhere occasionally, but we don't have any kind of speed enforcement on our road at all.
The order, 360 Green Road. I believe we have enough houses on that stretch green for it to be classified as residential. And now we want to turn it into a truck route to a residential area. Now, it's obviously it's not classified as residential, but there is enough houses there that it could be classified as. And that's not the right place for a truck route through a residential area.
Please state your again.
Guy. Yes, or
Betty Long, 1947 Happy Street, Apple. And we're already dealing with 45-mile-an-hour speed limit on Perry Road, which is not really well kept. And you gotta go up that hill past the mill pond. We have trucks already. And you can hardly make that corner. You don't walk to the post office anymore because you've got that back corner to pay. And I just think that it's not fair to put more traffic on either Green or Perry Road.
Thank you.
If Mike Johnson gets his, subdivision on there by me, you're gonna have a lot more traffic on that, but you're not gonna need it.
Yep.
You don't need it.
I come from a long family of truck drivers and they own their own rigs. And coming up them hills and in particular, the one on Perry Road, they have to stop, there's a stop sign or a light. They can't even make the turn. Cars don't even make the turn in the right lane. They go another lane and you can't see coming the other direction. Now, they're sitting up higher, I get that. But I don't think it's safe for the cars and the drivers on the vehicles. So.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
In the article of Paul Pelshan, 9302 Green Road. That article in the Citizen that said something about Lippy's ice cream. Well, we don't have a decent crosswalk at Clarence Street. Davison has on Davison Road, right there where Kroger and that plaza. They have a yellow flashing light system that is activated by pedestrians. So they can cross across. I believe that's a state law. Yes. Why can't you install something like that to make it downtown? Instead of kids jaywalking between the cars. And then they get hit. And it's, it's the driver's fault.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Ken Martin, and John. One thing that concerns me that I don't think you researched it well enough, I may be wrong, but I know in using federal funds, which is just you don't have the ability to restrict the use of like airports that take federal money. It happens all the time. They come in, they try to put restrictions on the use of the airport, but if they've accepted federal funds, they can't do it. I'm gonna guess it's same thing with roads. I don't know if you looked into that,
No, that's a good point.
but it sure seems, they're pot and kettle kind of thing.
Sure.
So before you get too carried away, you better check that. And I think there's gonna be a reduction in traffic through town automatically when Green Road gets paved. Right now, there's people that won't drive on a dirt road, they're coming through town. Once that gets done, realizing that that's not necessarily trucks, but this is just a really bad idea to stop. The number of trucks that come through, do you have a count? How many trucks big trucks that would be affected by this ordinance? How many come through town?
I can't answer that question.
I think this is,
I mean, we know there's a lot of very heavy trucks that are driving down Eagle Road. And so we know there are some very heavy trucks driving down
I'm
Eagle
sure
Road.
there's, I'm just
I mean,
wondering.
we got
what-
cement trucks,
what's the
gravel
number?
crane trucks. We know there's a lot of weight going down those roads. And that's one of our primary reasons for looking at this ordinance is to save our roads, right? Because, as a village, we run on very limited budget. And most of the time, when it comes to roads, like residential's, we can't afford to do residential. We can help out with it, but we do that through special assessment. When it comes to roads like Eagle Road and so forth, we always are looking to go after federal dollars, right? To where we get a 75-25% split rate, something that we can manage, right? And so that's one of the reasons why we're looking at this is that are we going to be able to make our roads last longer and save the village money in the long run?
I would say that, the amount of wear and tear that happens because of the large trucks, I agree, put a weight limit, you can do that kind of stuff. They do that on Green Road, every year that they have a weight limit, close to seasonal weight limit. I think your idea to eliminate all heavy trucks is
Okay,
bad idea.
thank you. All right, I'm gonna let you speak one more time.
Yeah, but, driving the school bus, I want to get back to that, coming up that hill, you don't know how many times I had to back that bus stop. Because you can't make it a lot of mornings. So I just want to bring that to your attention, I mean.
Explain that to me, will you? In the winter time you talking or when? Like in this?
Winter, especially winter, coming up the hill, you gotta stop. And then you can't go, so you end up backing back down and the cars behind you would always have to back up. So that I could back up and get a running start to get up there. I mean, we've been doing that for years and that's always been really a problem. But still hasn't been fixed, so what are you gonna do? And then my other thing is, on Green Road, we got a lot of kids in the area. They ride bikes all the time with no sidewalks. So if you end up putting all these trucks on that road and kids are out there riding bikes, look out, that's all I'm saying. And I would hate to be the parent that gets that call. So,
One last comment, sure. Down in Warrenton, 243 Green Road, did anybody talk to the Department of Transportation about this? Not NDOT. What makes the village of Goodrich capable of overruling the standard operating practices of the Michigan Department of Transportation? How do we enforce this? And if we do attempt to enforce it, who is expected to carry the expenses of enforcement?
I can't answer that.
Well, if you write him a ticket, I'm driving a truck. Who's gonna write him a ticket?
We would have to have another sheriff that
No,
knows.
who is the
Jefferson
sheriff?
County.
Who is the sheriff?
Any police officer can write a ticket to a truck for being on a no truck.
You're sure of that?
Positive,
You're sure of that?
yes.
Okay,
I've drove truck for 30 years,
okay,
all over the country.
okay. Sheriff's Department
Yes.
can enforce it, well, yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
they can write a truck ticket.
But if the rule you're asking the sheriff's department to enforce is gonna get walked into a court of law. And
If it's posted,
it seems to me a judge is gonna say, well, MDOT, what's the rules then? You know, what's the rules on?
they put through truck routes all over the country,
Well,
the small.
It's obvious you've got this all picked up, so you're gonna do what you're gonna do. And all these people here that have showed up tonight, it went one ear in one ear and right back out the other, so.
I wouldn't say that.
So I guess we all just wasted our time and you've got your mind made up. So that's my time.
I wouldn't say that at all.
You wouldn't?
No.
What would you say?
All right, let's not go, let's keep this to comments, please, not arguments. Is there anyone else? Okay, I will close the public hearing. At this time, are we open regular session?
You say we never take it back?
Oh, they probably don't know.
If it's approved, it would take effect 30 days after publication.
I have one more question.
I close public. All right, item number 8 is the consideration of the adoption of correct ordinance. Discussions.
I'm not for this at all. I talked to the people, I actually contacted Atlas Township today to find out when they are paving roads. The engineering wasn't even done. They used it on something else. Yeah, yes. I have a lot of people I know, the fans, we drove my kids around. Wonderful. I was street administrator prior to Chris here, and one person said to me, can you get rid of the
This is our
trucks?
discussion
I
between council.
want to finish
I know.
what I'm saying, because I did do my footwork. I just want to say that the money that was used, is supposed to be used for Green Road, wasn't, it went to something else. I guess they say they can
Green
do
Road
that.
is out of our jurisdiction.
I know it is, but no, it isn't, because half of it's Goodrich, the village of Goodrich. But I did some research, went over and contacted somebody.
Hey, please.
But, I don't agree with this because our roads were made for trucks to travel, to deliver goods to everywhere around the world. Cars come second. And we never take the roads down to fix them right. We just repair the top of it. And it is what it is. And that Green Road is already dangerous. It's gonna be really bad. And I know that.
Anybody else?
I'd like to chime in. Since I'm very well aware that as a council, we do think of ideas, we bring them up, we discuss them. Maybe they seem like an easy fix, maybe they don't. I was in favor of the idea of this, but my husband drives a utility vehicle and he said the same thing. He said, I think this is with the whole Perry Road turning on M15. He said, you can't always rely on people to slow down. He said, you're gonna have a lot of accidents. It scares me a lot. And to back your comments about the pedestrian sign, because I know that I have children, I've said it about Lippies. We have looked into that. Just with the parking right there in front of 401, there's really not a spot where anybody can see the pedestrian sign, but we have discussed the pedestrian crossing as a council. I appreciate everybody coming out. I am not in favor of this, and I apologize if I led it differently before, but the more thought that went into it, I think if we can maybe do a weight limit or figure out something along the lines of more research as to how we can keep the roads in good shape, and for people on Green, call the Genesee Sheriff and that's just bother them every day and ask the police officer to be there. I'm a big nag about speeders, and if you call them enough, they will come. Shockingly, he's not here tonight to hear all the speeding, but I nag a lot. Maybe you come and you go. Yeah. Tell him, say, I'll bring you coffee, just sit and get out. But thank you.
He's not here because he was in the hospital.
That's not our business.
Shannon, any comments?
Yeah. I hear everybody's concerns and I agree with all of your concerns. I've talked to many people myself. Some people are okay with it. Some people are not okay with it. I think the people in the audience have made valid points for us to relook at it and see what we can do. I mean, I don't want to see more accidents in the community, just like, I mean, I would hope that nobody would want to see that. But I also think that there's a responsibility of the village to protect taxpayer money. And when we have to keep throwing money out to fix like main thoroughfares, but yet we have to special assess folks in subdivisions whose roads are getting torn up. We need to think about everybody in the community and especially the taxpayer money. I don't like to see my tax money wasted. I'm sure nobody likes to see their tax money wasted. But I think we need to, maybe, there were ideas and we've even talked about weight limits before when this all started. And, maybe look into some of those things, get with, the county, the state. And I know Mr. Lucic had said that they tried getting a traffic light. While there's more traffic now than there was then. Maybe we have a better chance of getting a traffic light. I don't know. You laugh, but I mean, you want us to do research and, I think that we have a responsibility as council to the community and also to the people who pay taxes to pay for the roads that we ultimately end up paying for before some of our own roads and our own subdivisions are done.
Okay, anybody else? Entertain, a motion.
I'll make a motion that we table this decision until further research is done to see if this is the
Excuse me.
route.
Excuse me, can you, point of order, could you postpone it, please?
Oh,
To a
postpone.
date certain.
Can we postpone this to the October meeting?
I'll second that.
They live together.
Okay, we have a motion and support, to postpone.
Who cares?
The supporter, please. We have a motion and support to postpone, the consideration of the proposed truck ordinance, until October meeting 2024. All those in favor?
Well, wait a sec, is there anything you would like me to do in the meantime? Is there any research you would like me to do, anything you need me to do?
Yeah, I'm curious about what that gentleman had to say in the back in regards to, federal funding. And if we are restricted from doing something like this.
So you would like me
due
to
the
take
fact-
all of their concerns and see what I can
Yeah,
find out?
just kind of run that by the attorney and so forth and just see, is there. I've never heard that one in regards to federal funds, but it's something that we should look into, right?
Mm-hmm,
Because then, we go ahead and we pass something like this and then we find out that,
I think we
it's not.
You should know all this information.
You cannot postpone, Sherry, protocol,
They can
postpone.
postpone?
They have a right to postpone. That postpone beats this, so go ahead.
Yeah, if you could do that.
Absolutely.
Concerns down.
So you're directing me to do that. Okay.
Yes.
Is that okay, part of your motion, Shannon?
Yes.
Chris? You okay with that?
Yeah, I'm wondering if we could maybe get with Alice Township
Sure.
and get with the state and see about getting a light at these two. Perry Road, Green Road, see what it might take to get.
I think you're gonna find that's gonna be very difficult without.
We might need a road study.
study. Okay,
Um,
so we have a motion. And. Go ahead, if you're.
we discussed putting stop signs at the corner of Libby's. I believe the state kind of ties our hands because there's such a distance between the two lights with the fire hall. I believe the discussion we had, that you couldn't put a stop light there or a stop sign because it's too close to M15.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and a support to postpone consideration of the proposed truck ordinance until October of 2024 and to direct the administrator to run some of the items that were discussed in the audience with the attorney. And then we will reconvene in October. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Yay, no.
Motion carried. Item number B, authorize administrator clerk to postpone a cleaning company to clean the village municipal building. Sure.
Due to the loss of our cleaning lady who passed away, Nancy Douglas, we are in need of a cleaning company to come and clean our office. I'm asking permission to seek that.
I'll make a
Clean our office.
motion to authorize the administrator / clerk to post for a cleaning company to clean village municipal building. Second.
We have motion and support to authorize village administrator to post for a cleaning company to clean the village municipal building. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number C, authorize appointed village representative to attend the 2024 MML convention.
We skip, did we skip something?
No,
No.
So Shannon and Chris would like to attend the 2024 MML convention. We have brought it up this month because if we.
Did we discuss this as a council? Did any,
That's
was
what we're
any?
doing right
That's
now.
what we're doing now. I sent a message to Sherry asking to have it on the agenda because I'm
I didn't
interested.
see the
Okay,
message.
Point of order, please. And it's cheaper if we do it now as opposed to waiting until August or September.
Did we pick them or are we picking them? Is that what we're?
They have shown interest in wanting to go.
So you're trying to get the early bird registration for, are you guys full associate members?
We are
Or
Yeah.
the villages.
Were you appointed? Did you appoint them? Keith?
Sure, I did not appoint them.
the
They have to
council, they
go-
were appointed as our NNL representative.
I did not
And I'll
know
kind of-
that.
Yeah, they were.
How long ago was that?
Last year,
I mean,
we went last year,
They were.
we went in October.
I have no issue with them representing us at the 2024 annual convention. I move that we have to raise our appointed village representatives to attend the 2024 MML convention.
for the early bird rate.
Early bird rate.
I will support that.
We have a motion and support to raise. Please.
Yes.
Moore,
No.
Haverty,
Yes.
Henry,
Yes.
Walter,
Yes. Item number D is consideration of disciplinary action against the DPW supervisor for insubordination. I would like to state that for our discussions will simply be in regards to this incident and this incident only. Anything else, I will not allow.
I got a question. How long has this been going on without me and Melissa knowing about it? You two knowing about
This
it?
is what I'm bringing up to the council right now, Sherry.
But you three been talking about it. These two live together. And
Sherry,
You called that.
Sherry. In order. He was involved in the situation,
you're all wrong.
okay?
I wanna know how long it's been going on.
Sure, you're out.
No, I'm not. I have a right to ask this question.
Sure, it's
How
being
long
brought to
has
your
it been going
attention
on?
right now. I don't know what else you
How
want
long
me to
ago
say.
did this occur?
Happened about a month ago.
We have dates and emails.
It's all in the packet, if you read your
I
packet.
did read my packet.
Okay. So when DPW supervisor was appointed to oversee the Hawthorne Ridge paving project, he was informed that the street administrator and himself were both to oversee that paving project. Last fall, Allied Construction had to come back and repave a major portion of Hawthorne Ridge condominium complex. And the street administrator was not informed. As a result of that, the village administrator, myself, the street administrator, and the DPW sat down, we had a meeting, and we agreed that any work performed on village streets, including Hawthorne Ridge paving project, would be discussed and involve both the DPW supervisor and street administrator. On June 6th, Allied Construction returned to perform some additional repairs to the areas that did not meet our standards. They came back on June 6th and finished that work. Again, the street administrator was not informed. So my recommendation is a 2-day suspension of it.
I want to hear more.
Oh, my God. I got a quick, curious question. Where on our village charter does it say who I report to or my two coworkers, who they report to?
You report to council, you work under the,
No, I don't.
that's what the charter says. The charter says that, man.
Show me. I like to see it.
I can show it to you. It says that.
Well, I feel that.
I remember, I got one.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one. The agreement is, where's it in writing that we all agreed on this? We got a written document?
So noted.
What was that?
I said so noted.
Well, I totally disagree with this. There should be something in our charter that tells us how we go along to discipline. And it should have been discussed between certain people
Sure,
without
we
the
have.
rest of the council. I have a right to speak. Please. You always try to shut me down. You don't want them to hear what I got to say. You're overstepping.
Okay,
Sherry,
let's-
please,
let's-
state what you.
I was an administrator. I didn't abuse my place. He's hired. He's a supervisor. He's paid to do his job. It is not his job to report to Chris to everything. This is wrong. That's what I gotta say.
Man.
You may.
I was looking at the employee handbook portion that was, put out, and there is a section of the employee handbook that discusses, corrective actions. I don't think that what was proposed, should be considered. There's jumping from having a conversation to a 2-day suspension without anything documented or signed for, I don't think is the right thing to do. I think the employee handbook should be given to either via email or a printed copy should be provided to all employees if they don't have one already, and also to council. So we know what the rules are or what protocol is. I think that all of us, once we get a copy of that, should have to sign saying that we've read it, we've acknowledged it, and it should go in everybody's file. That way there's no question as to who didn't know this or why this wasn't said. Um, if nothing is documented, it makes it very difficult to enforce a disciplinary action. I worked in HR. It's very difficult. I think things should
That's
have to
labor
be,
law. It's labor
yeah,
law.
and I think things have to be documented. And then, maybe the first documentation is a warning, and then if it continues to happen in the employee handbook, it says that suspension under the corrective action could happen, but I don't think that now is the time to do that.
Back on. I'm agreeing with Shannon that also, looking at the employee's response, I think that we are a small enough group here of individuals that work together that the response made sense as to the reasons why, he didn't report it in, and I think just an adult discussion about it and working to fix it in the future. And I know, like, when we got the Robert's Rules of Orders that Sherry provided to us as council, and talks about things, I don't think we signed off on that we read and understood it, but maybe also, same scenario, how you said, Shannon, like having the handbook that we all sign it, also for council to understand how to act and things like that would be appropriate.
All I will say is that we did sit down and discuss this, the four of us, and there was an agreement in place. And whether it wasn't meeting minutes.
For who discussed? You mean Sherry, you, and?
No, Sheena was not.
I was not involved in
then-
any of
There's a
that.
street-
Thank
That's
you.
the question.
Street administrator, supervisor, the village administrator, and myself.
So presumptuous when you ran it.
Like, all right, enough. Sherry,
weren't.
point of order,
Hey, you all.
point of order.
Every one of you.
Okay, well, what would you like to do with this? I think there should be verbal disciplinary, written verbal disciplinary action. It should be documented that. this took
Document a
place.
written warning in the file,
Mhm.
but just, and then discuss. But I think having something on file, like Shannon said, for hearing. And that would be my motion, is to, proceed with a written that gets kept on file, but no suspension of anything. I think this is a motion, yes.
Your motion in support, for verbal disciplinary action,
Documented via written in this file, but no suspension.
so moved. We have a motion to support. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
Yeah, that's how it
At
always.
this time, we have, public comments.
If you're not going to the 5 Green Road, I'd just like the council to know that all the people that were here today, that were on Green Road, do pay village taxes. Anybody on the north side of Green Road pays village taxes, but the road is a township.
It's maintained by the township,
Yes,
for the county.
so you're getting all of our taxes. And we're not getting really anything out of it, so our taxes are helping to pay for your roads on the inside. Please don't come out here and tear up what we've been trying to get for the last 40 years on Green Road by putting a truck route. It's just not, it's not good news. There's a subdivision that's going in on the corner of Ridge and Green, Mike Johnson will be putting that in. There's gonna be another outlet coming out onto Green Road. It is not gonna be a pretty sight.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
And Martin, I don't think there was one person, one resident that was in support of the traffic ordinance. I don't think there was. Is there anybody here from the public that was in favor of the truck ordinance?
I was original.
You were original. I'm glad you changed your mind.
Give a look.
Anyone else?
When you do your research on what we put lights on M15, I think that's the first thing you need to do, because you can't imagine the stumbling blocks you're gonna hit. Yeah, they're just, we met with the engineering department up in Davison there, and, you can get through those people. But you better have politicians behind you, you better have a lot of people behind you, because it just, they're not gonna do it.
No, I know what you said, because I remember when you guys, had the lake at,
Yeah.
Eagle and wanted to keep it. I remember how hard you guys had to fight for that.
And it was already up. I mean,
And
you couldn't even think about it.
I know trying to put a light at Green, or Perry, is gonna be very difficult because they're not putting a light up unless there's enough deaths.
I think that's your first time.
Thanks,
to
Watts.
see if you
That's
can
all you
even
need. Those
be
dots
done.
to make that happen.
And if it can't be done, then there's no use of, proceeding this any further than this. I don't.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I had a quick question. Who disciplines the council when they break rules? Like open meeting acts, writing letters, like Melissa does constantly.
You can bring it to the,
Oh, I already talked to them. I've talked to everybody. It's been going on. So does council have any disciplinary act in place that? I'm just curious. I'm on here and I don't know.
you can
They're
look
trying to
at
point
the
something
employee-
out. Nothing you want to.
All right, moving on to council member comments. Anyone else with any other comments? No, for council members.
Yeah. I'm happy that, that we've postponed the roads. I think some good questions were raised from the audience members. And if anybody has any questions about my personal life or my ties to other council members, feel free to call me, because there were a lot of assumptions made here today that I can clear up.
I like